Hey everyone, as you can tell, we obviously do not have a video version of today's episode. There was a problem processing it, and it ended kind of abruptly, but of course, in true Smoking Simian fashion, we're going to release it anyway, because this is what the people want. The people want to hear us. Very happy that Clayton was on the show. He did not, at the end of the episode, he does mention, we do talk a little bit about his stand-up show that will be this Saturday at C5BK in Bushwick. It is at 5 Grand Avenue in Bushwick, Brooklyn. The show starts at 7:30. I think doors open at 7. I will be on the show. I'm very thankful to him for having me on, and thankful to him for coming on today's episode. So without further ado, please enjoy. Hello, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning into the show. We're back with Clayton. Hello, sir.
Hello,
You like
Antonio.
that introduction?
Yeah, man, you got all my credits in there.
Straightforward. Yeah. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm great. It's great to be here. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me, and hello to all of your many viewers.
Yeah. Yes. All of them. Fucking
Each
dogs,
and every
bro.
one.
You think they can hear the dogs?
A little bit.
Probably, right? Should we shut the window?
That's for flavor.
Nah,
That's
fuck
how
it.
you know. That's how you know.
It's okay. They're not fighting them. Maybe.
It's all part of the story, man. It's like a Gabriel Garcia Marquez book.
What is that now?
Oh God, I should have never said that.
No,
man's
no,
name.
you
I don't
have
know
to.
enough
Is that
about
the first
this.
Google?
That's a
He's
man?
All right, let's see how close I can get to Billy's Google on this. He's a surrealist novelist from a Spanish-speaking place. I'm gonna go South America.
Okay.
But I don't know.
You want
this
to make
for
one
sure.
more bet on where he's from?
Like even more specificer than South America.
Yeah. Because you're right about South America.
Am I? All
Yeah.
right. How about Colombia?
You got it.
I got it.
You got it.
I'm
He's
the
a Colombian
fucking
guy.
man. All right.
Gabriel. Oh, well, you said
He wrote-
Gabrielle. I was.
He wrote.
Yeah, he did say Gabriella. But it is actually Gabriella.
Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. All right.
Yeah.
He wrote 1,000 Years of Solitude, 100 Years of Solitude.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote Love in a Time of Cholera,
Ugh.
which
That
is
doesn't
supposed to be
sound fun.
gross.
Yeah.
It's a parody. And another one about that has dogs that I forget the name of.
Okay. Yeah. See, I get a lot of stuff in my algorithm where it's like a picture of some author, and then it's like one of their quotes.
Yeah.
Do you get that shit?
I don't. I'm not. I think my algorithms correctly identified a lower denominator for me, but
Really?
I feel you.
What's in your algorithm?
My algorithm is almost entirely. So I've trained it.
That's
I
good.
Get SP. I get like beat SP404, like beat make like samplers.
Yeah.
Because I really like sampler like DAWless beat making. That's like part of my thing. And I get like animals being funny and kids being good at music.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
nice.
It's pretty chill.
That's a wholesome algorithm.
It's very wholesome, and I have actively told it to stop showing me sexy stuff.
That's good. That's a good move.
Because it's it ruins Instagram for me.
Yeah.
I can go elsewhere for that.
Sure.
I can and will. Please. But please don't put that on me right now.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get through work.
Yeah, and then you just see some chick
Some titties.
doing squats.
Some incredible titties. Yeah. And I'm like, this is not the time nor the place.
Right. Sometimes I'm like on the train or something, and I'll be scrolling, and it's just all ass.
Absolutely. Get the fuck out of here.
And I'm like, fuck, dude, can they see it in the window?
They can see it in the window.
Yeah.
Everybody can see it. And nobody's judging you because that's what everyone's discovery page is,
Right.
But I'm judging me. I don't like that.
I also try to use porn sparingly.
Me too, man.
So like when you
Try is the operative term there. But I'm team less.
Yeah. Right.
Team less porn.
Right. Lesbian porn is what you're talking about.
I'm team less porn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then when you're trying to take a break off that, and then you go on Instagram,
It just is porn.
It's
But
porn.
It's just it's
fluffing
foreplay.
yourself.
It's fluff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I can't. I gotta not have that.
But that sounds like a nice algorithm. Mine is all ladies.
All the ladies.
It's guys getting knocked unconscious.
That's epic.
It's like the complete opposite of ladies, of pretty ladies, and being in the sense of really jacked bodybuilders.
Brolic dudes.
Yeah.
You got
a lot of
sexy
dudes.
ladies and brolic dudes.
That's right. It's just Ronnie Coleman, like,
That's what's up.
drinking Gatorade after his 7th Olympia win.
Yeah, your algorithm is run by your inner 13-year-old.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's
Maybe
like,
a
this is
fast
what I'm
car.
into. Yeah, fast car.
Here or there.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I was gonna say is I feel I have some anger. I feel frustrated with society for this. If I go around and say my algorithm is full of kids doing awesome stuff, which
Yeah.
is true, that sounds way creepier than what you just said.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah, everyone's ears perked up when you said that.
That's
like,
so
kids
fucking
doing what?
Kids doing and it's incredibly wholesome. It's like little toddlers being great at music and sports and stuff like that,
Sure.
or like 6-year-olds, I'm not a pedo, swear to God, on my mama. I just, you know what I mean? And so I'm kind of pissed at society for doing me dirty like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have the more wholesome, my shit is good.
You do, yeah, for sure. It's like little Japanese
but
kids.
what you got in the that's exactly right. Like with the
Playing
spoons,
guitar
like
and-
playing
yeah.
guitar, yeah. But if I just had brolic dudes and sexy ladies, that would be more socially acceptable.
Yeah, it would be normal. They're like, oh,
Totally
of course.
normal. Bouncy titties.
Sure.
Bouncy titties.
People showing, I also get a lot of like food, like people making stuff,
Oof, that's good. That's good.
which is disgusting.
I feel like I could be vulnerable to that.
To the food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just haven't figured that out about me yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of it gets pretty fucking ridiculous. Lately, I've been getting a lot of recommendations for like hidden places in New York to go to. It's like, go to this, it's only 45 minutes from the city, and it looks like a fucking oasis. You're like, what? This
Restaurants?
is Hackensack, New Jersey.
Restaurants or like spas?
A little bit, I mean, of everything, dude. It's
Yeah.
like, here's a hike that's 30
Have you
minutes from
been
the city.
like touring? Have you been doing any spots like outside of the city?
A few weeks ago, I went to Baltimore. A week before that, I went to Philly.
They know you travel, son.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
They know you travel.
Yeah, big Greyhound bus kind of guy.
Yeah.
Makes you feel like you're a vagabond or something.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I'm new in comedy, as you know. And old in music. I gave up on music like 4 or 5 years ago. So have not been touring.
Yeah, but you used to.
I never really toured. When I was in my early 20s, there was a period of time where I like moved around a lot and did a lot of Greyhound bus action. I did one like DIY sort of tour around the Northeast, which is when I went to Rhode Island, your place of origin.
That's right.
But no, I never really was a touring artist. But I did have a period of time where I was doing a lot of Greyhounds just for life reasons.
Right.
So I get the Greyhound life. Put wine in a closed container or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just chill.
Yeah.
Yes. Or the Bolt buses,
Flixbus, all that shit.
All that shit.
Peter Pan.
all that shit, bro.
Yeah.
All that shit.
Hopping on the Amtrak.
Love it. The Chinatown buses have you transfer at a certain point, which is terrifying because you go from like one unmarked, unidentifiable bus to another unmarked, unidentifiable bus. In
Right.
At a rest stop.
Right. Yeah. It's like it's like a weird fucking. It's like if you were going to porn venues or something, or like sex clubs. Like it's one of those weird fringy things going
Yes.
going on a Greyhound bus.
It's like a trust fall of some kind. They're weeding out the doubters.
right. You don't think we can get you to Boston for $15?
Yeah, man. But they do somehow.
Is that still a thing? The Chinatown buses? I feel like I tried to go on one, and I don't know.
It may not be a thing.
I don't think it's a thing. Can we try and schedule a Chinatown bus trip here?
Let's get a Chinatown bus going.
Yeah.
That's one of my jokes I do because
Where to? Like,
let's go to Boston.
Okay.
From New York to Boston, Chinatown bus. Let's see if anything comes
see what
up.
we got.
Yeah. That's so funny that you can just.
I don't recall if they were Googleable like that.
It's like underground.
Yeah.
Is it on funghwabus.com?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Is that the one?
That's right.
Fenghua. Interesting. Oh, content blocked.
I can do it on a different browser.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what it is about getting on a bus, but I always just pass out. Pretty much. I always just pretty much fall asleep.
That's good. Me too.
It is kind of nice. I'm thinking of going to New Orleans next month.
Cool.
And
That's supposed to be a cool place.
Yeah, no, I've never been. And
Me neither.
I'm considering taking like a train or something just for the sights.
I have always been disappointed at how expensive trains are.
Yes. Yeah,
Really
they
sucks,
can
man.
be. Yeah.
To like,
I think it's dead.
It's not a thing anymore.
it's not
Yeah.
a thing anymore.
Son of a bitch.
It's an ad for Greyhound when you open it now.
Oh, really?
Really?
Damn.
Greyhound bought 'em out.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I mean, that's probably for the best.
We could totally make a racist Chinese dog joke.
Do it. Do it, son. Greyhound.
They're like, Greyhound? What?
Yes. This time the dogs eat the Chinese.
They eat their funds.
Yeah. That's probably for the best. I don't think that was a very safe. It was an unregulated market. I don't
Right.
think
Yeah.
That's not good.
I heard stories of their like being like chickens and shit. Like they're transporting everything.
What are you doing in New Orleans?
There's Gonzo Fest this year in New Orleans.
Okay. What's that? Is that the psychedelics guy?
Hunter Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up there.
There he is.
It's an illustration.
Yeah. Are you a Hunter Thompson stan?
A little bit. A little
Nice.
bit, yeah. There's something about a fucking lunatic that just excites me.
So he's a lunatic journalist. He's a journalist, right? Or like a memoirist?
Well, he...
was?
Yeah, I mean, he was a journalist.
And he was played by Johnny Depp at some point?
in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, yeah, which was like one of his big... kind of his magnum opus.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, he was a journalist. He was like... He, I guess, invented gonzo journalism, which is the idea of... Like, he would go to these sports events and write very little about the actual event itself. And
Gotcha.
he would talk more about the people there, the way they're acting, the sights, all that shit.
The scene.
Yeah. And it kind of
Interesting.
changed shit.
And so what do they do at Gonzo Fest?
They get like a bunch of writers, people that I honestly don't know who they are, but it would be, cool. They do like readings and it's free. It's a free event. It's over like 3 or 4 days or something. So
Cool.
I'm considering going out for that.
That's cool, man. That's a cool thing to go out for.
Yeah.
Do you is that a solo pilgrimage?
There might be somebody that's willing to come along.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see what she also has a car, so I would be down to drive down with that. That'd
Hell
be fun.
yeah.
So,
Tight.
having a friend with a car out here is nice.
That's huge, man.
Yeah.
Just friends?
Just friends.
Sorry to put you on blast
Just
like that.
friends. at least right now.
All right,
Just
all right.
friends.
There's a little something simmering.
Yeah.
Potentially, but all right.
Yes.
Having a friend with a car is a big deal. That's one of my life goals, man. To be a friend with a car.
I thought you were just going to say get a car, but I guess it's the same
get a
thing.
car.
Yeah.
Or to have a friend. So my license has expired. I used to have a driver's license. I had a
That's step one.
that's step one exactly. So I've actually regressed. I have negative progress on that. I was further along before I started. But yeah, I would like to get there. I was telling you I just moved down the street from where we sit recording here, and it's my first time having my own apartment built.
That's nice.
It's huge. It's a huge deal. So next
is a
up,
big deal.
Next up is the car.
let me cut you off real quick because there's a fucking asshole doing yard work right now. So we're going to shut this window.
All right.
I'm not picking it up much. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, fuck it. It's bothering me.
It's for the man's flow state.
It's pissing me off, man.
We got to get the...
I grew up doing yard work, so it's got like fucking...
Wow.
It's just in
That's
my brain.
That's a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
That's a lot of baggage, bro.
Bro, every year it was like some multiple massive projects in my family.
Yard work is not fun, dude.
Yeah.
I did one summer. This is like the most privileged thing I could say. I did one summer of landscaping. I know what that's like.
As a job?
As a job.
Okay.
Which I got paid for.
That's even harder.
But, minimum, I didn't get paid a lot, but I was, and it was hot as shit. It was in DC for a legit like heat wave, 90s, early hundreds. It was intense.
Yeah.
That shit is not fun. I would have not done well if I had to do that every summer as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's brutal. And I mean, I was doing it for free relatively.
Nice.
Because it's, my family.
That's what family's for.
Yeah. Get to work, kid.
Hell yeah. Was it was it just for taking care of your living environment, or was it a business that your family had?
No, it was just like our homes.
Yeah.
Like my house, my grandmother's, the other house that she owns. So it's a lot of moving dirt around.
Yo, moving dirt around, moving those rocks.
Tons of dirt.
You do all this shit, man. I couldn't tell the difference between the weeds and the plants.
Yeah, just ripping everything out.
Just ripping everything out.
Look at these pretty weeds. It's just roses. Beautiful rose bush.
And when you... DC has lawns in the city everywhere. Mm-hmm. Everyone's got lawns in like a lot of places of DC. And at least where I was, which was a neighborhood called Brooklyn. Not Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Okay. Lawns everywhere. So I was cruising around Brooklyn with a lawnmower because I was working for this nonprofit that had like 13 locations, and I was their, assistant to the super basically of all these locations. And in that neighborhood, if you walk around with a lawnmower in the summer, you get work. People like pull you aside. And I ruined multiple people's lawns. Because they would
that's what they get.
They would just be like, yeah, that's what they get. Exactly.
Just picking up some guy on the street. Yeah. Fuck 'em.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah, that's what they get.
And I got the job because my girlfriend at the time was an AmeriCorps volunteer for the nonprofit.
Okay.
So I was living in her free housing because AmeriCorps volunteers get free housing. And so I was just living in there for free, getting paid minimum wage to do this super stuff. And then they had me taking care of the kids too, just like her at the end of the... So totally unqualified.
Sure.
And borderline illegal, surely. I was like taking care of kids. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
showing them how to play the guitar so they can get on your Instagram.
It was insane. At some point, the kids looked me up.
Yeah.
And I had a video on YouTube of me smoking a cigarette and doing rap music.
Nice.
So they called me out as hell.
And they didn't like that?
They didn't like that, no.
Really?
Well, they didn't dislike that. They didn't like me telling them what to do, so they brought that up.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you smoke cigs, bro.
Yeah, you smoke cigarettes. How are you going to tell? I don't have to do my homework.
Which should be cool.
You smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. There should be like a high five. Like, fuck yeah, I smoke cigarettes, kid.
That's right.
Bow.
And you can too.
Yeah.
Just believe in yourself.
Yeah. It's not illegal to smoke cigarettes at any age.
Illegal to buy them.
Yeah, which I think is true.
I don't know whether or not that's true, but I think we can get away with saying that's true.
Yeah.
Should we look that up?
Yeah. I think it's literally just buying them.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Is it illegal to give as a gift?
As a gift.
A cigarette to an underage person.
Shit, I hope not.
I made a sport out of like sneaking out of my apartment where I grew up in Manhattan and getting adults to give me cigarettes. That was my jam.
That is nice.
Yeah, that was a great.
Purchasing, possessing, and using.
Oh, really?
Purchasing, possessing, and using. All illegal.
Yeah.
All illegal.
But giving to children.
What about as a gift?
Not on that list.
Oh, it's 21 now?
It is 21. Yeah, it's
That's
been for a little while.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
18, too young.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I was in high school.
Right.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's normal.
Right.
To be, that's too young.
If you go to Samoa, you can...
They got no rules.
Yeah, you can smoke them as long as you're 18.
Other countries, they don't give a fuck.
Serbia.
Yeah.
Albania.
Anywhere that's not
That's
here.
why Albanians are so strong. And manly
Yeah. And they can't run.
and cancerous.
Yeah. For sure. Oh, yeah, other countries, it's like, here's a gun and a pack of cigarettes.
Tight.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Which is, technically at 18, you can join the military, so it's like, you mean I can go in the military, but I can't smoke a cigarette?
I think if you join the military, you should be able to smoke cigarettes.
Well, they used to. They used to give you that.
Yeah.
Like World War II.
Like here's your military cigarettes.
Here's packs.
Here's your packs.
Yeah.
But now they know that's going to hold the Marines back.
You think so?
That I have no idea. I'm speculating. but they...
Now they just give them steroids.
Yeah, now they just...
Which
give
is
steroids
good.
And chicken.
I'm for that.
It's a lot of chicken.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard about the military. It's a lot of chicken.
It's just chicken all the time.
It's chicken.
But they have MREs. It's that dried bullshit chicken, right?
What's MRE?
The shit that comes in a bag? It's like dehydrated food.
It's like when you're out like on a patrol. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And they give you put
just
water
add
in
water to it, and it's a meal.
Gotcha.
It's like Crystal Light, but chicken.
Gotcha. but it's chicken now. Yeah. Call in now. Call in now for your discount.
Sponsored by
It's
MRE
like Crystal
chicken.
Light, but it's chicken though.
That's disgusting. I've been seeing this theme on because of all the weird bodybuilding shit I get. There's guys that make chicken shakes.
Ooh, nice.
Disgusting, dude. It's like they fucking just...
I've wondered about that. I'm looking at my blender like we just put fruits and nuts in this thing.
Yeah. Can we put something else
Can we
in
put some
That
pork
reminds
in
me of
here?
like being a kid, like wrestling and watching Rocky, him like slick back the eggs raw
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
trying
totally.
to do that and just instantly vomiting.
Vomiting, yeah. I used to do the same thing.
Did you really try it?
Oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
You're braver
same.
than
it
me.
barely touched my lips and I
and
threw up.
you threw up immediately.
Have you tried... I bet as a man you could do it now because you're a grown man. You just...
Because of your man.
The
Because of your
core memory
manliness.
of me throwing up may come up and I may throw up again.
It's like that liquor that you die on when you're young and you just can never touch
Absinthe?
again. Absinthe was yours? You know what I'm talking about?
As in everyone in their life at some point, they drank a certain liquor too young, and
Yes.
now it sticks with them. Yeah, I don't recall. I mean, Four Loko probably, if that was still a thing, I'd probably throw up upon sippage. Do we remember Four Loko?
Well, you had the OG Four Loko, right?
I had the OG Four Loko.
Yes, yeah, that was a little past my time.
Yikes.
Just a little bit.
My bad. Sorry, YouTube.
But I hear it was diabolical.
Yo, that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
That was the best, man. That was the best of the best. It was the best. It was the best memories of the best lack of memories in some cases. It was the best. It was so incredible. One Four Loko. If you could just get your hands on a Four Loko, you were good for it. That was going to be like an 8-hour
My gas station,
night.
they were buy one get one too.
Hell yeah, that's what's up, dude.
Holy fuck.
Did you had the OG Four
Yeah.
Loko age wise?
Yeah, I didn't like the taste of them though. So like,
Exactly. That's they are
I steered
repulsive.
clear pretty quick.
You stayed away from the sauce because of the flavor.
Yeah, purely off taste.
That crack cocaine high
It's
didn't.
not worth it.
I looked straight past that taste.
Yeah.
for that high.
Right. Well, that's because you're a real addict.
That's because I'm exactly. Yeah, you gotta choke those eggs down Billy, for the experience.
I know the same thing that stopped you from drinking the eggs was the same thing.
Yeah,
as
man,
the Four Loko.
if those eggs made me do regrettable things, I would do it.
Yeah. Imagine
I
Rocky
would've
just
done it.
pounding a Four Loko before he runs.
He'd
He'd get further.
yeah, he'd
Everyone's
get further,
running behind
faster, and then never again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, fuck it.
I'm
Just
done.
take a nap.
I'm done.
It's like the Four Locos were always like fresh out of a backpack too, like because you had to hide them from your
Yeah,
parents.
totally.
And then like they're all warm and like
Warm.
Skunked.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Whew. OE 40s. Did we do those? Did we
Yes.
have those
Yeah,
around?
yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah. Malt
Old English.
liquor.
Hell yeah.
Ever play Edward 40 Hands?
I had a couple of Edward 40 hands. That was more college for me than high school, but yeah, totally.
That sounds horrible. 80 ounces of beer.
Yo, it's so much urination with
yeah.
those things.
And how do you pee? You have to finish.
You got to finish at least one of them,
Oh, yeah, right. Because then it gets undone.
and then you can.
Or one of your friends who's already out can open
just
you up.
Hold,
Right.
hold it down, if you will.
Canelo did that. Did you hear that story? Where he was like all gloved up, ready to fight. He was going to walk out in like 15 minutes, and he's
And
like,
his
Coach,
coach
I
had
have to
hold it.
pee. Yeah. And he's like, what do you want me to do? He's like, you got to help me, bro.
Wow.
So he, like,
Who is
whip-
this? Who is this? Is a boxer?
Yeah. Like the boxer.
My bad. Sorry, YouTube.
You don't know Canelo Alvarez?
I have no idea who that is.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry, and I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
No, I am.
That's fine.
I am.
He's just a Mexican icon. I mean, you don't have to care about Mexican people. That's okay.
Oh, I'm no longer sorry. I take back. I retract my apology.
Yeah.
So he's the boxer.
Yes. Yeah. He's
All right,
he's
cool.
like right now one of the top
Cool.
in the
Cool.
world.
Cool. And he had to pee, but he already had them gloves on.
Yeah, he was all suited up, ready to go, and yeah, his coach. He's like, "You got to help me, bro."
You gotta do what you gotta
And his
do.
coach did it, shook his dick
Why
and everything.
wouldn't he just pee his pants?
Shit,
He's about to go out in front of like 2 million people.
he's not like a football player. Like those guys piss and shit themselves. That's what I've heard.
Right? A lot of, and like the race car
Yeah.
NASCAR guys
Right.
like pee themselves. and
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, I think they have like a system, right?
Oh, do they
The
have
NASCAR guys have like a
NASCAR
tube.
guys have catheters.
they might have
wild,
something.
son.
I don't know.
That's wild.
I feel like an astronaut. You know.
Yeah, totally. That's wild. You got to stick that up the urethra.
It's not that long, is it? It's only like 3 hours. You can't wait 3 hours.
That's long, dude.
But I think there's a thing that happens.
What if it's like 15 minutes in and you're like, I gotta pee?
Some
there's a
NASCAR
fluid
drivers
thing.
use catheters during races to relieve themselves without having to stop. But this is
Yeah,
not a
that's
universal
crazy.
practice. Drivers have different methods to manage their need to urinate.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy.
So only the real hardcore guys.
You know what's crazy about the catheter thing is there's no. This is what I always wonder. I've never had a catheter. If you have a catheter in, is there just no period of time where you hold urine?
That's a good question.
You
Does
know
it
what
just
I'm saying?
extract
Are
it
you
out of you?
Because you know how you have like urine held state. The gates are closed.
Yes.
And then you go to the bathroom and you open the gates, and then the urine comes out. You know,
Sure.
the inside gates. I'm talking.
Right.
you know?
Right.
If you have a catheter, can
think
you
you
just
probably
leave
still
the
push
door
it.
open?
I think you're probably still pushing it.
All right.
Like you push.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
You have to make the choice. You still open the gates.
Right.
At a certain, you say, I'm peeing now.
Yeah. It's also like whatever is wrong with you probably depends. Like
Right.
there's probably situations where you have no control over it and it just
Totally.
goes.
And which may be the reason for the catheter. Maybe your gates are broken.
Could be.
And if that is the case, do you just slowly urinate at the rate of digestion?
I would guess
Right?
so,
Does everything
right?
just pass through the bladder just as quickly as you can digest? It's just dripping out like a drip.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think so. I suppose. I mean, that sounds like a horrible process to get a tube put in your dick. Putting anything in your dick doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever done that. I can't say I've ever tried.
You ever watch Two Kids in a Sandbox?
No, I don't know. I don't know what this reference is.
This was back in the day when it was hard. You had to search for like disgusting shit on the internet.
Oof.
And it was like the Mr. Hands days, the Two Girls, One Cup.
Sure. Yeah.
So Two Kids in a Sandbox, it was like a dude getting a fucking dildo shoved into his dick hole and his dick like rips. Like a palm tree, like in a cartoon where it like just rips apart.
That's horrifying.
Yeah. But that's stuff you got to see when you're a child. That's important.
That is the kind of thing you do just gotta see that.
Yeah.
And you are still, how old are you?
27.
All right. So your parents didn't have the internet when they were kids.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Man, were our parents up against it. They had no idea.
Yeah, right.
They had no idea what the fuck was on those computers.
Right.
No idea.
They had to see, if they wanted to see somebody get murdered, it had to be in front of them.
Yeah, or on the news.
Yeah, and they don't show it on the news.
You know what I mean?
Not the
like,
full thing.
Yeah. I don't know, like pictures of Vietnam somehow circulated and that mattered, right? I don't know. I don't even know how that happened. The news?
Yeah. I mean, in those days, it had to have all just come from the news.
Yeah.
It was like that we got coverage.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think. And we just got the dick ripped in half straight from the source.
Easy. Yeah.
Straight from the source, immediately to every home in America.
Right. All you needed to know was some bad kid that you went to school with, and he had to be like, hey.
That's right.
You want to see this video?
And the only people who knew how to find this video were under 18 years old. Mm-hmm. All of them. The experts in where this video was at were
children.
14-year-olds.
Yes. Exactly. Like I remember
E-Bombs World. All of like E-Bombs World.
Exactly.
That whole thing, no adults knew that existed.
Right. bestgore.com. That was another one. It was like you could just look shit up, people lighting themselves on fire.
Did you guys have back doors to get into all that stuff, like on your school server computers?
Not that stuff, but we could get into some racy shit, like certain websites.
Like, 'cause I had all like these pathways that, like, if you go to like Google and search birds, and then go to like this and then that, and then
you end up in dick ripped in
you
half.
can get to like world. You get to a certain point where you can get to whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because
like
there was like blockers, like educational blockers on the thing, but if you go through the birds first,
yes, there was certain paths,
they
and
can't
like we
tell.
had them written down, and no,
you can shake them.
Yeah,
they lose the trail.
You deke them out.
It was like
Deke 'em out.
cheat codes.
Yeah, you just start with bird catheters, and then you go into, and then from there you get human, bird dildos.
I worked with a
Because
kid.
that's educational. That's part of
Catheters,
That's
yeah.
bird.
yeah.
That's for science.
I want to be a doctor, miss. Yeah.
Yeah. You start with frog dissection,
And then you go to the 800th page on
it's-
Google.
which is a human.
Yeah. Human dissection.
Yeah.
I used to work with a kid who we didn't go to the same high school, but I had a friend that went to the high school with him, and he told me that this kid ordered like counterfeit bills from the dark web on the school's
The dark web.
Wi-Fi,
Crazy.
like on the school's computers.
To what address? His
That's
home?
a good question. I'm assuming his home.
Yeah.
And that was a Catholic school, and he got kicked out. As it goes.
Yeah. What was the Silk Road? Y'all ever
I've heard of
the
that.
Silk Road.
That's what, the child trafficking?
Dark web stuff.
Dark web,
Yeah.
like you could order drugs on
Yeah.
the Silk Road. I didn't personally interact with it, but I had a friend who got opium from Silk Road.
Did you try the opium?
I did not try the opium.
Yeah.
Too scared.
I feel like I'd give opium a try.
I should have.
Yeah.
I regret it.
Yeah.
I'm sober now. I should have just done the opium.
Completely sober.
Completely sober, yeah.
No weed,
Nothing.
no booze.
No booze.
Wow. How do
Hell
you feel?
yeah.
Do you like it? Are you bored?
It's
or
good,
do you like
man.
it?
Shit's good, bro.
Okay.
I'm telling you. Life is so much easier.
Yes. I understand that.
So much easier. I feel like I'm playing on easy mode,
Yeah, huh?
you know. So highly recommend. And it's just like a baseline happiness, you know, because I'm not always trying to recover from something. But I'm also, I can't really speak for everyone on it because I took it too far, which is not true for other people. You know what I mean? Or some people can like smoke weed as a lifestyle, and it works. You know, that's fine. It wasn't good.
You're just excessive.
I was excessive, and it just it put a real ceiling on what I could achieve with my life. Because I was able to just keep scraping by, just barely. But I couldn't like get anywhere.
Yeah, you weren't getting ahead. You were just keeping up.
Wasn't getting ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you the type of person that doesn't do anything in moderation?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, not even sobriety. I hit sobriety so hard, son.
Yeah, I know. That's what it sounds like.
Sober as fuck right now.
Yeah, it sounds like that. That's not even coffee.
Yeah. Yo, it's so sober, it's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't do moderation very good. So comedy has been really helpful for that because it's a proper, like, it's a pretty healthy high.
Doing stand-up.
Doing stand-up.
Yeah.
And it keeps me busy in the evenings. I can go super hard and it's productive.
Right.
It's progress. It's good for my life. It's social. I'm seeing other people.
All drinking and smoking.
Who are all drinking and smoking, by the way, and are in their 20s. I'm in my 30s sober. I feel like I'm chopping these kids' heads off.
Yeah.
I'm like sober as a knife.
Yes.
In these clubs.
A
like
katana, if you will.
Yeah, like a katana if you want to be racist. No, I'm just no, I'm just kidding. Like a katana. I seriously, I feel like I'm just drinking everyone's milkshake. It's because it's like I don't. It's no disrespect, but I'm competing with I was once 23 and stoned all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like wiping the floor with that kid. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Just because I can handle a schedule, I have $5 every time I need it. You know what I mean? To go to the mic.
Right.
I am ready at 11:30 at night. If someone's like, "Oh, I got a spot," great.
You can just go
Put
bang
me
it
up.
out. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're just
So-
in the position to do better.
So, yeah, it is. It does feel like I'm playing on easy mode a little bit, and I like that. But yeah, I was. I can do comedy in an addict way, and it's kind of good for my life.
Right.
Oh, the other thing about it is it's humbling. In
Doing
spite of
stand-up?
everything, in spite of everything I just said, that's what's very healthy for me in particular. Because if you can't tell, by nature, enormous ego, huge, ridiculous.
Okay. I wouldn't have thought that
It's-
because I only
it's,
know you, as
I'm
for a
hiding
year or
it. I'm
something.
hiding it from
But,
you.
yeah.
I'm keeping it a secret. It's not cool. But comedy is always going to be humbling, because you can't coast in comedy, and you can't think you were good if you weren't actually good.
Right.
So that's very healthy for me. It keeps me on the tracks. When I was doing music, I could think that I was the best rapper in the world and perform for an audience who did not have that experience, and I could walk off stage thinking that they did.
It's also part of the game of hip hop. It's like
That's
I'm
true,
better,
too.
I'm the best.
Yeah, that's true too. Which is
Yeah.
a bad fit for me. In retrospect, I can see now that for what I needed to be a happy and healthy person, it wasn't a good fit for me to be in an environment that rewards egos.
Yeah. Right. Whereas stand up is like the complete opposite.
Stand up, yeah, destroys egos.
Yeah.
It's tight.
You fuck with it.
I fuck with it.
It's an ego death. It's like
it's
mushrooms.
ego death, man. And every joke I have to make fun of myself. Mm-hmm. I can't. As soon as I get preachy, everyone gets bored. As soon as I get braggy, everyone gets bored. But as soon as I make fun of my tiny dick, everyone's back on.
Right.
It's so healthy for me.
Everyone resonates, especially at an open mic.
Everyone's like, keep going.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what we came for.
You got it, bro. That's the vein, literally.
I have to I'm just every day trying to come up with flaws to share with crowds of people who laugh when I do it good. It's great.
Yeah. No, taking a break. I mean, you're completely sober, but taking a break for me, at least, is I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I'm going at least a month, no booze.
Hell yeah. Right here.
So, yeah.
So no booze, but yes, weed.
Yes, weed. Less weed, though, in recent years. Even before I decided to take the break on the booze, it's just less weed.
I feel like the booze is a more physically taxing
So
than
much
the weed.
more, dude.
And it's more emotionally taxing as well. Like weed can be kind of smooth.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because it was 2 weeks on Sunday. And the first, after the first 5 days of not drinking, it's like what you're saying. It's like everything is so much easier. Getting out of bed is easy because obviously drinking, you sleep like shit.
Yeah.
All the time. You fall asleep easy, but you wake up, you fucking, you sleep like shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
you just don't remember the falling asleep process.
yeah. Sometimes, right?
Yeah. You're just kind of out, but it's not real sleep.
Yeah.
So you're waking up easier. Are you would you consider that as a more general approach to life, or is it more just taking a pause to kind of reset?
Definitely reset. I like to fuck around a lot. I won't lie.
Trying to fuck around.
I love to fuck around a lot.
Yeah.
I was on a bit of a run when I decided to stop.
Nice.
I was probably.
Do you do other drugs? If you don't mind me asking. We can talk about something else.
No. Hey, Nick Marmer was on here a couple weeks ago.
Right.
So.
All right, we're good. We're good.
No, I mean,
shout out Nick Marmer.
As far as frequency, it's pretty much weed and booze.
Weed and booze.
Weed and booze, nicotine, which I count.
Nicotine, sure.
I love caffeine.
Caffeine, absolutely.
But as far as drugs, I do mushrooms occasionally.
Nice.
Those are fun.
Mushrooms I would bring back. I would bring back mushrooms and wine. I've always said that since I started doing.
Well, see, when you drink wine, you're being healthy. Don't you know that, Clayton? When you're drinking wine, you're good. It's fine. Dude, I would drink a bottle of wine.
Yo, same.
Easy.
COVID?
Right where you're sitting, I will drink a bottle of wine.
I can tell. I feel it. I feel the vibe.
Soaked into the bed.
The urine is soaking my jeans right now.
I will drink a bottle of wine.
That's why you know so much about catheters.
Drunk.
It's disgusting.
I would drunkenly play my guitar.
Yes.
And then go do open mics hammered, which is another thing that I enjoy very much. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I never really got the chance. I don't think I could have handled comedy when I as a non-sober person. I did a few mics in my 20s, and was like, I gotta have a couple drinks to get on stage type of thing, and then it was just expensive, but also just kind of encouraged the wrong habits. I just don't think I could have done it.
Right. And you're also allowing something to influence whether or not you can do well.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, I didn't get a drink and I'm going up next. I might,
exactly.
It's in the back of your mind.
And I'm so built for that type of thinking. I'm like, I didn't take the allergy pill.
Yeah.
It's
I'm going to sneeze
ridiculous
while I'm up there.
Yeah. It's such a joke.
Yeah.
I was addicted to mints for a while. Sugar-free mints.
Really?
Yeah. Over the summer when I was first doing comedy, I was popping mints like crazy. And I started to get stomach issues from it.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I had to quit sugar-free mints, dog.
You're an AA.
Ridiculous. Yeah. I'm in there like, man, last night, too crazy. It got too crazy. I got to hit up my sponsor.
Yeah. My guts are
too
rotting.
Crazy with the mints.
Yeah. Altoids has got a fucking chokehold on me.
Altoids, dude. It's crazy. I probably have Altoids in my jacket right now just to be safe.
Oh, I love Altoids.
Yeah, man.
They work the best. Especially as a smoker.
Yeah.
So it's I can smoke and then just...
Oof. Beautiful.
Pop some
beautiful
fucking Altoids.
Best combination. Wake up, leisurely wake up, 9, 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
A spliff and a coffee.
That's nice.
Half tobacco, half weed.
That is nice.
Maybe even just a third weed. Just like a nice little something.
Yeah.
And a fresh coffee.
Beautiful.
That's the dream.
No, that's a good mix. That's a good mix. That pretty much got me through college.
That's what's up.
Just every morning it was a blunt and...
Yeah, but you went blunts, though. So you got the tobacco from the leaf.
Yes. So I've had this...
That's different.
I've had this discussion, and I'm happy that this came up.
Yeah,
all right?
let's do this. That is different.
Can't a blunt be considered a split?
No.
Okay. Why?
Hard no.
Why?
Has Billy ever expressed an opinion on this?
Don't know the difference.
No.
Doesn't know the difference.
Billy
All
doesn't
right.
smoke weed.
All right, cool. We'll come back to you when we get back to fighting and catheters.
And Gabriel Garcia.
And yes, and Gabriela Garcia Marquez.
Google it, that's
yeah, he's nice at Googling drugs. A blunt cannot be considered a spliff. Hard no on that. That's like calling a cigar a cigarette.
Okay.
It's a lot of the same stuff going on, but no, it's not. Or maybe like a bun, like a cinnamon bun and a pancake. It's a lot of the same shit going on.
Yeah.
But they are not the same.
Okay.
You know?
So a spliff must be done with a joint paper,
It's
tobacco.
for me, a spliff is... People use the word spliff to represent anything you can smoke, first
Right.
of all.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that, and I get that. But what we're talking about right now,
Yes.
and this, is the use of the word spliff that means rolled in a paper, there's weed in there, and there's loose tobacco in there.
Okay.
When I think of blunt, which people also use to represent anything you can smoke, people will roll a joint and be like, pass the blunt.
Look at this blunt.
All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's,
yeah.
I get it.
That's wrong. I don't like that.
We're being loose with our language out
That
here.
I don't like.
But we all know what the truth is.
Right.
That's not a blunt.
Yeah.
And a blunt is like a different social and physical experience.
I would agree with the physical experience for sure.
It's different.
It is different because when you smoke a backwood, you definitely feel like maybe more lethargic.
Yeah.
I think.
More tar. It's
Yeah.
tarier. You know,
hear your breathing more.
which is not necessarily a bad thing when it comes to the drug use experience.
Sure.
It's nice. I fuck with a blunt. They burn slower. Mm-hmm. It's like more like I'm talking about it like it's wine. It's like a maple. You get like maple tones.
Sure. Yeah. Oaky.
Oak.
Yeah. Cast.
Whereas spliffs are giving you dust.
Yeah.
That flavor of dust.
Yeah. It's much lighter.
It's much lighter.
Yeah. Well, you got to think about how awful it is to smoke blunts physically, because it's like like when you smoke a cigar, you puff on it. You don't inhale.
Right.
But then
That's insane, isn't it? That when it's weed in there, we're all like, we just inhale.
Hold it in. Yeah.
That is so crazy. I can't believe that people smoke cigars without that. They just don't inhale. I can't handle that.
Have you smoked cigars?
And
you try to inhale?
Yeah.
And you don't throw up?
No, I did. I didn't throw up, but I got sick, and I was like, "Fuck
yeah.
this! This is what." And then I tried like just not doing that, like just into the mouth cavity and back out. And I'm like, "What are we doing here?"
You don't get anything from that?
No.
Okay. All right, fine. I like a cigar.
My bad.
I'll smoke. No,
look, I'm sorry.
Everyone's got preferences.
No, that's my bad. I don't fuck with it. That's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like it feels like such a tease.
Okay. Yeah.
It's so close to the thing that I want to do.
Well, if a lady... What are we talking about here?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was going to say it is like jerking off in front of a naked woman.
Well, yeah, it's like if a lady was sucking your dick like you smoke a cigar, it is a tease. Like literally.
I would say that getting head is smoking. This penetration.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we're still on the tracks of this conversation.
No, this is fine. We figured out that a blunt and a spliff are different.
We have
I don't think we have. And I still don't know the difference.
All right. Well, all right. We tried.
I used to have a buddy.
I'm more confused.
It's worse. We made it worse. That happens sometimes, with philosophy, trying to intellectualize things that are lived experiences.
Right.
You can't try too hard to define these things.
That's true.
I was starting to get it, and then you started comparing it to a blowjob, and I was like,
That's where we lost.
That's where we
you.
lost,
I got
yeah.
you. All right.
confusing.
What's the definition of a blunt is weed rolled in a tobacco leaf. True?
Yes. Yep. I agree with that.
All right. But the thing is, there are so many different types of tobacco leaves. That's where it gets.
Sure, you could get like a Dutch Master, and that's like there's paper involved there too.
With the Dutch Masters.
Right.
You know, I'm you're going to lose me at a certain point with the tobacco leaf differences. I know there's backwoods, Dutch Masters. I know you can get the Mota from the bodega. You know that?
Mota. I don't know what
it's
that
like
is.
I'm not saying
I've
it
seen my
right.
friends with that. The big ass.
Yeah.
Oh, Fronto. A big
Maybe,
Fronto
yeah,
leaf.
yeah.
It's like a big thing you got to cut.
Yes.
That's closer to a backwood.
All right.
Yeah. A backwood is like it's very close to a cigar.
Yeah.
And there's no paper involved. You just unroll a literal tobacco leaf.
But the other one, Dutch Master, has paper in there.
Yes. Yeah. And then it's like the same thing as a Philly. Philly's the same shit as a Dutch Master. But a Fronto is like just a big fat leaf in a bag.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
And
Maybe
then you
Mota
pull it
is
out.
just a word for weed. I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, it could be a different name.
But that is what I'm thinking of, the bodega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a process. I mean, you want a towel's worth of of tobacco and you're just going to keep it in a bag? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I like the fact that it's an underground network of like it's a economy that operates off of the bodega platform,
Right.
but is not a part of the bodega. It's not advertised. You know what I mean?
Yes, you
But
gotta
it is
ask for
it
it.
is at every bodega, and like, how is this happening? You know, how did this? That's magical.
It's like
I think
ordering a
that's
McGangbang.
beautiful.
It's like off the menu item.
Yes, exactly. I think that's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a whole economy based off the backs of this bodega
Yes.
society.
Yeah.
You know?
The other day, a couple days ago, was Eid, and I forgot.
Right.
And
Which I don't really know what that is, but it's an Islam holiday.
Yeah, it's like Christmas for Muslims.
Oh, shit.
Kinda, sorta.
That's the biggest one.
It's one of the biggest
That's
ones.
the main one.
That's a
Is
big
it
one.
the end of Ramadan? Is that what that means?
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And now they can eat normally and drink water normally.
Gotcha. I don't know how people do that, man.
I know.
Just continue living life fucking through Ramadan?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Dude, there's
Professional
guys.
athletes?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. You look at the UFC, there's so many Muslims because some of the best fighters are from like Dagestan and these places that
Gotcha.
are, white Muslims are very scary.
I am afraid as we speak.
If you see a white Muslim with a neck beard and he's getting mouthy, just walk away.
Walk
Don't
away.
get involved.
Acquiesce.
Yeah. Shout out Oasis.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Moon, right? I
Yeah.
love that band.
Before we started, we were talking about Robert Plant, the lead singer of Led Zeppelin, and Clayton's like, yeah, dude, I listen to Dark Side of the Moon.
That's my bad.
Yeah, it's all good.
That's not even, I don't even get to blame age for that. Like, I should know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
I feel like I have soft brain canals. Like, I associate things that are kind of close. I'm just like,
well, that's close.
You
It's
know.
very close.
yeah.
Oasis
Oasis is different, though. I know that.
maybe 20 or 30 years different.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the performance? It ended up being like I guess a documentary or whatever. They filmed it.
Uh-huh.
It was Pink Floyd in Pompeii.
No, I've never seen that.
It's pretty dope. Can we pull that up? Just not show it or play the audio.
I'll leave it in room.
Yeah. It's pretty dope. I fuck with those.
What's dope about it?
I mean, just the fact that there's no audience. They're just out there with all the equipment that they would normally have for a live performance.
Why did they do that?
I think for the reason of filming it. They were going to film it and put it
Really?
out as a movie, which is what they did. Kind of like The Last Waltz.
It's so COVID.
Yeah, right?
It's like what?
1978
You know,
COVID.
that's Post Malone and Travis Barker in COVID. Did you see that?
No.
Post
They're doing a
Malone
similar
and
thing.
Travis Barker was in Post Malone's like COVID bubble,
Oh, shit.
and they did at least one live concert from Post's house.
Right. Let's see if we can find... I want to see like an overhead view.
Those mics are tight.
Those are dope, right? Let's see.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's a lot of close-ups.
Yeah, it is a lot of close-ups.
I feel like they didn't.
It's a lot of wild, trippy shit.
Right. I feel very claustrophobic watching this. And they're in they're in such an open space, like, but every shot is like, this shot is, so people are not seeing this, right? This shot is right in front of the guitar. You can't even see the whole guitar.
Right.
This one's right up against the drums. The drums, you can't even see the whole drums.
Yeah. He's got a gong like 30 feet behind him.
and you can see through in just the periphery, they're in like an outdoor amphitheater.
Yeah.
This thing is huge.
It looks like a coliseum.
Every shot is like, and at the beginning, the ones we passed through, those are just the faces of the singers.
Look at that shit.
Yo, this thing is huge. They're showing stacks. All right, this is
Crazy, right?
we got stacks of speakers.
And a couple
This
dweebs.
is like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So we skipped ahead in this video to the end. I think this is probably the peak of this video.
The whole thing is like an
The whole
hour.
thing builds to them being like, all right, this is what it looks like here.
Yeah. The whole thing is like an hour
All right,
long.
now we're right up against the bass.
You get to see David Gilmour's
Right
fingers.
up against that bass.
I think it's David Gilmour, but anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's 30. Yeah. See,
All right,
look
so
at that
it
shit.
starts far away.
Yeah.
It starts far away.
And they.
And
Yeah.
it gets right up in that bass.
Did you ever hear the thing of playing Dark Side of the Moon and syncing it up
Yes.
with the Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
Have you tried it?
No.
Yeah. It seems like a bro thing to do.
It's a bro thing to do. I think I'd probably I don't think I've seen the whole thing. I feel like I have a memory of being in and out of someone's dorm room while that was happening.
Yeah.
You know.
That sounds about right.
Did you hear the thing about the Oompa Loompas? The Oompa Loompa that hung themselves
No.
and is caught on film.
No.
It's probably it's got to be apocryphal. There's no way that, but the
on
the
it.
thing I heard while at that
Search
time
history
while Pink
sucks.
Floyd and the shit is playing at the same time and we're all on mushrooms, someone told me and I just believed it that one of the Oompa Loompas committed suicide during the filming of The Wizard of Oz. One of the actors who
Oh,
played
the little people. The
That's
Oompa
correct.
Loompas are
Thank
from.
you, thank you for using the politically correct term. We don't say Oompa Loompas anymore.
No, but they call themselves something in that. Lollipop Kids.
Okay.
But Oompa Loompas are from Willy Wonka.
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
My bad.
No, it's okay.
See, soft brain canals.
Yeah.
I was
You got it,
close.
though. You got
I was
it.
close.
Okay, so totally different movie. All right.
It's a totally different movie, but it's the one of those little people on
Yes.
the
Apparently, Wizard of Oz was the most miserable film set ever, though.
Everyone was
And
just.
one of those-
Did we pull that up on here where like the guy who was the Tin Man like was getting cancer because of the metallic
No.
shavings from the paint?
real.
and stuff
That's
like-
real?
Yeah,
Holy fuck.
and the other guy who was the lion, like the makeup was like the most miserable experience.
Oh,
ever
it
for
seems
him.
it.
damn.
Yeah.
And they were all very jolly in those shots. They're all being very jolly.
for short periods of time while they filmed it.
Yeah. But inside, their hearts are dying. So apparently, one of those little people killed themselves, and you can see it. There's a shot where they're hung.
Holy fuck.
That's what I've been told.
I didn't know
and I've
that.
believed it ever since. We're going to find out right now if that's
Yeah.
true or not. And
Jerry
if
Marin.
it perhaps actually happened in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
In one of these other movies where they employed midgets.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. At some point, a midget hung that midget self.
Didn't they get pissed? Isn't Peter Dinklage mad about Snow White or something? Isn't that the new thing?
Okay, tell me more.
Because-
Peter Dinklage. Is
Yeah.
that his name? Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Peter Little Person. Peter Dinklage used to walk by my ex-girlfriend where she worked because he lived in the neighborhood and like give her the eyes every time in a very
Seductive manner.
in a way that was predatory and ultimately made her feel uncomfortable.
Mm.
And it was consistent with her specifically.
Interesting.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird. Peter Dinklage was just. Where did your girlfriend work or ex-girlfriend?
She worked at the time at I don't want to say. I don't
Okay,
wanna say,
okay.
But
Was it like a coffee shop or something?
it was like
or?
a coffee shop
Okay,
situation.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the show You. You ever watch You?
Yeah, like that. Yeah. I don't think it was like that, but
Yeah.
I think that's how it was feeling for her.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe it's like that.
Yeah.
Can't find any deaths on Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
No deaths on Wizard of Oz. Okay.
Interesting.
Search little person hung
On a movie. In a movie.
caught in background
Yeah.
of film.
Just the most specific
This is like when I'm trying to find a porn video I watched like many years ago. I'm like, I remember it had.
What was her name?
Definitely
Fuck.
two pregnant women.
Kid playing piano.
Yeah, mom teaches son how to anal probe.
Yeah.
I can't quite remember.
Right. That sounds like something they'd show in a school nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, there is an article to the secret dead Munchkin myth explained.
There it is.
Oh, so it's a myth.
it was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
It was Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Thank you.
Okay.
I
But
knew
it-
I was right. That's why I said it with so much confidence. But it's a myth.
It is a myth.
Okay.
Well, that's.
Do you want to read it or no?
Sure.
Is
Let's
it
pull it up.
It's just a weird shadow.
Yeah. They're like, let's fuck with people. Despite being
This
regarded.
article contains mention of suicide, first of all. So, our bad.
Yeah. If there's children.
We're probably 10, 15 minutes into this conversation, but this article finally had the sense to be like, this conversation contains suicide. Heads up.
Yeah.
Heads up.
Because we're not going to give you the heads up.
All right.
Despite being regarded as one of the greatest films of all time, Victor Fleming's The Wizard of Oz's secrets on screen and behind the camera are numerous, but none are more infamous than the urban legend that one of the Wizard of Oz's Munchkin actors hanged themselves. See, I don't like that they say hanged.
You know, and it's only for
It's-
the suicide one.
Exactly. It's grammatically
only for the
incorrect.
suicide one.
Based on L. Frank Baum's 1900 children's fantasy novel of the same name, The Wizard of Oz remains a subject of controversy and one of the most infamous tall tales surrounding
That
the
clause,
movie.
by the way, that it's based off that book, not
Yeah.
necessary for this article.
Yeah.
As if I can just edit, we can take that out.
Economy of words here. Tall tale surrounding the movie is that a lovelorn actor portraying a Munchkin hanged himself on set during filming. For almost as long as the movie has existed, nearly a century, rumors persist that the silhouette of a dead Munchkin actor hanging from a rope is clearly visible during the Yellow Brick Road
Check it
sequence.
out. Check
which
it out,
is-
son. There it is. They've got the image. This is a very Bigfoot
That could be anything.
There's no way.
It's a sandbag holding up a light.
Exactly. Yeah. There's, as someone who knows production, there's no way if you just look at that image and if you didn't have this rumor, there's no way someone would look at that and be like, "Is that a Munchkin hanged themselves?"
Right. Someone just mentioned it one day, and they're like, "Yeah."
You have to come to this image with the story in mind to think that that might be what that is.
They're in that forest that Jake Paul got kicked out of, where everyone kills at the suicide forest in Japan, where everyone hangs themselves.
I missed this. What's this?
That's a real place.
It's a real place.
There's a forest in
Yo,
Japan where
in
everyone
Japan.
hangs
We
themselves.
can't bring that one up. It'll get pulled off YouTube.
Just
Yeah.
a heads up. This conversation contains mentions of suicide.
And so does this forest.
And so does this motherfucking forest.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, as a person of Japanese lineage, we consider suicide to be a delicacy.
It's not bad
It's one
to
of our
them.
cultural. It's one of our cultural exports.
That's what I've heard.
It's our most famous. Our
Japanese
most beloved.
people don't mind the idea
I
of
mean,
suicide.
I say that jokingly, but also very seriously. I mean, the idea, is it called harikari? Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. Where you fall on your own sword?
Or seppuku, whatever.
Sempuku. Maybe
Yeah.
harikari is like a sex thing. My bad.
I think it's the same thing.
I did once say in a conversation with a manager of mine, I was like, "What's all?" It was like a mess at work at a restaurant. I was like, "What's all this bukkake?" And I didn't realize that I was referencing like a very specific sex act.
Yeah,
And
to your
she
manager.
was like, are you joking right now? And I was like, no. What's up? I was like, she was like, do you know what that means? And I was like, no, I don't. She was like, you're fucking with. You do.
She was like, let me show you.
And I was like, no, I don't. And we got into this fight about whether or not I knew what bukkake is, and I never was able to convince her. All right, I know now. The Japanese historically, I mean, that's a very honorable thing to do, to fall on your own sword.
Yeah.
Not a joke. When you're there was a period of time when I was a kid. I don't know if this is still true, but when I was a kid, it was true that every prime minister, none of them had finished their terms. They all made a mistake at some point and stepped down. You know, you exit the game before you have a chance to cause any more damage to the community, to the group.
Right. I wish they did that a little more here. That'd be sick. Just anybody, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Off topic, but do you want to go back to this article for a second and read a really fucked up part?
Yeah.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
see. We're still on topic. We're still talking. Okay, what part?
Pretty sure we're still talking about
So-
blunts.
Just read this quote and you'll get the gist of it.
I got $50 a week on the film, and yet Terry, the Cairn Terrier,
The dog, that was Toto.
that played Toto, was paid $125. Leo Von Singer, manager of
Hell
popular
yeah.
vaudeville group Singers Midgets, was paid $100
Hell
for
yeah.
every little person he brought in. He pocketed 50%. So the dog got paid more.
The dog and the midget wrangler.
Yeah.
Yeah, the manager of the midgets got $100 for every midget in the movie,
Yeah.
and he got 50% of that 100.
Holy fuck, dude. Singers Midgets?
Yeah, that's so,
His name's
wild, dude.
Singer, Leo Von Singer.
Right,
so
that's
Yeah,
his
yeah,
business.
yeah,
it's
That
his
was just
midget.
They're his
What is
midgets.
this, the 60s?
no, this is like the 20s,
The
dude.
20s?
Well, when did the movie
No,
come
it
out?
can't be the 20s.
When was the movie
Is it
around?
really the 20s?
No, definitely not. Well, vaudeville is old, so he just had the midgets.
This
and he
was like the first film. Like,
Yeah,
Good-
right?
good
When was
movie.
the film? The late 20s? Came out in like the
No.
30s.
yeah, that somebody, he was like, oh, yeah, see, I
yeah.
started
I got
my
these midgets
wrangling
here.
business. Too many midgets, not enough money.
That's cool.
39.
1939.
All right,
That's
so
wild, yeah.
early, late 30s.
But yeah,
Yeah.
post-depression.
Yeah. People needed a movie.
That's crazy there was even that many midgets.
Where are we at with World War II? Remind me the dates.
39 to-
41.
Pearl Harbor was 41.
But it already started, right? Since
So
then?
we were bubbling at this time.
It was brewing.
It was
It was
brewing.
brewing. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The trains were in motion.
So this and everyone's dying from paint cancer, trying to pretend that they're happy in this movie.
Yeah.
Worth it or not worth it?
I mean,
It's pretty sick.
you get to be in the Wizard of Oz, I
pretty
suppose. You get a bunch of fucking bros to be like, dude, if you put on Pink Floyd over this, it matches. That's what they did that movie for.
All right, what's the equivalent now? We put out a movie, and there's a genre of music that's going to come out in 40 years, which that we can't even comprehend, right? We have
Right.
no idea. The sound that this music is going to have,
Yeah.
it's going to be made with instruments that don't exist.
Noises we
We
never
would
heard.
hate it.
Yeah.
We would hate it with a passion. The idea that this would be called music,
Right.
we would hate it with a passion. The creator, the people who were making The Wizard of Oz would be like, that's not music. Fuck
Right.
that is not music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
So
1939, what is it? Duke Ellington?
right.
Yeah.
And even then, people were like, Duke Ellington, that's not music.
Yeah. So a movie that
So
comes
it's
out
like-
now, it's
so
like
a movie that comes out now, it's like, yeah, like
The Avengers.
it's like Pineapple Express, and that's obviously a very old movie, but we're talking about decades. The Avengers, I guess, yeah. It lines up perfectly. What's a movie that anyone cares about that's not Marvel? Oppenheimer.
None.
Oppenheimer.
Imagine Oppenheimer. What would you play to that?
Oppenheimer lines up perfectly with
With like dubstep. It's like
fill in the blank.
Skrillex.
Skrillex. Yeah.
Yeah. Bass.
It's so crazy. Wow, 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 wow.
Such a long soundtrack, too.
Yeah. I know, right? It would have to be forever. The movie's like fucking almost 4 hours or something.
I never saw it. Fuck that movie. I saw
was-
the Barbie movie.
You like
What's
that?
gonna line up? The Barbie movie lines up perfectly with this.
Slayer. It's like
Slayer.
some metal band. That'd be awesome.
I like the Barbie movie. That shit was good. And I'm not even trying to be a feminist right now. I just liked it. Okay, I'm not trying to make a statement.
All right.
I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah.
This is not. I'm not taking a stance here.
His Instagram will
Shit
be
was
at the
funny.
bottom, ladies. In the description.
That shit was good. That shit was funny.
I didn't catch it.
Little kids making music and the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
We get
Talk
it.
about a pussy magnet.
Get it, dude. We get it, bro. We get it. He loves his niece and nephew. Yeah. No, I'm just a pedophile. That's why.
Yes. Right.
This
Forget what he said at the beginning.
This conversation contains mentions of pedophilia.
A pedophile who doesn't mind the idea of suicide.
Wow, son. Wow. So I hope no one ever sees this.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned it made me think of a time that I had a similar situation with a manager.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the bukkake thing.
Yeah.
I remember me and all my coworkers bukkake'd a manager of mine. No.
That story where you reference bukkake reminds me of this one time I bukkake'd.
No, I remember I had this joke, and it wasn't my own joke. I'll tell it now, but I remember what's the difference between jelly and jam?
I don't know. Semen somehow.
I can't jelly my dick in you. So
pretty good.
I remembered.
Pretty good joke.
I started saying it to one of my managers, both two ladies.
All right. Bad choice.
And I started saying it, and I was like,
I got to back out somehow. I got to think of a different difference.
I don't know if I can do this. And then I said it, and like they laughed, but I was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was like,
they were too.
Oh,
they were also uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it was at like a corporate place where I totally could have gotten in trouble for it.
Yeah. Sometimes
but it was
you got to back out.
It was like a service job, so those aren't real professional. Anyway.
They're not real.
Yeah, they're not real jobs.
You can get another one of those.
Exactly.
It creates such a bizarre sense of professionalism because it's like technically a job, but there's so much crazy shit that goes on in restaurants.
Yeah.
And you can just always get another restaurant job. Like no matter how many bridges you burn in that industry, like you can just always figure it out.
Easy.
It's so crazy, man.
And they're roughly all the same.
They're roughly all the same. You get to a point where you show up at a restaurant, I got this, Yeah, I mean, thank God for the restaurant industry.
That's what I do.
A lot of artists making it work.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good job if you're doing something else, I think.
Yeah, because you don't have to think. You meet people,
and you don't work as much. You're not working 40 hours, but you
don't work as much. Your sprints.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I did, and it was good for me especially in my 20s. I mentioned I moved around a lot during that time. So if you get a restaurant job in a new city, you immediately are friends with artists in that city.
Yes.
Done. You have a social life, and you have food.
Right. Free food. Sometimes you work for a place and they're fucking...
Absolutely not. I'm out the door.
Yeah.
There's no family meal.
Family meal usually sucks, but you're right.
Yeah, but hook it up though. Give me some calories. Let me eat.
Yeah.
Or something. Give me some food. That was like the main thing that kept me going.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You live off that shit.
Yeah. Are you front of house or back of house?
Front.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not some fool that's gonna stand in the kitchen. The
I
fuck I look like.
I don't know how people do it.
I was born here.
I was born front of house. Front of house is where I'll stay. I feel like I have front of house energy.
You could, yeah, for sure. You look like a cool bartender. You know
I could never handle cocktails.
Okay.
I couldn't handle the pressure.
Really?
Of being a bartender. Yeah. So server or manager, floor supervisor.
Oh, I hate that
type energy.
That's like
middle management.
Yeah.
Especially in I worked at it. Like anything that's like vaguely Asian, they were just immediately like, "You're white and Asian. Like, how quickly can we get you into a management position?"
Yeah.
Totally unqualified.
We get a lot of white complaints that we need you to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. We need someone who can speak white, but carries the authority of the Asian people
of
on
a
his
Japanese
back.
man.
Yeah.
Right.
One of the places I worked at was Hawaiian.
Okay.
Hawaiian food in Seattle. I was not a manager there at any time, but I just got people just assumed I was Hawaiian.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do people project races onto you?
All the time, dude.
Hell yeah.
Ever since I was a child,
Let's fucking go.
Ever since I was a kid. I've been Dominican since I was a kid. I get black more often than you think.
Sure. Yeah. I still think you're black. I think you're black right now. I'm looking right at you. You just told me. I still think that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I feel like I could get away with saying it. Come on, people that don't know me.
I will say, if I would never have second guessed you, me personally.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate that. That's very nice.
Is it? I'm not sure.
I'm getting the N-word pass from a half
From
Japanese.
a half Japanese dude.
That counts.
Yeah. That shit's wild, bro. Have you ever? No, I won't.
Did
Did you ever try it?
Not in front of
Try it
people.
out?
In the comfort of my own home.
Just to see how the syllables feel.
Yeah, I've definitely not realized that I'm rapping out in public a couple times. Like some days it's just super nice. I'm riding my bike. It's beautiful out, and I got like
Trinidad James.
yeah. Gold all in my chain.
Yeah. No, I never. I tried it. I first of all, I don't.
Tried it once.
I tried it once in front of a friend. In college. I tried it with an African American person,
Yes.
and they were like, "No," and I was like, "Okay."
Okay, and that was it.
That was the end of that.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
on record, I tried it.
You try. You got to try.
Look, I mean,
That's our job. We're doing bits. You know,
you got to try.
if they laugh, then it's fine. You know.
I was not doing it as a bit.
Yeah. You were serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was referencing an artist saying, I don't remember exactly, but it was something along the lines of like that N-word's the man,
Right.
Or something like that. You know?
Okay. So it was at least a compliment.
It was a compliment. I don't know what possessed me to
Just let it fly.
to try that.
Yeah.
You know, please don't clip this. This is insane that I'm saying this.
It's all right. You were a young man.
Yo, I don't know what I've like never. I'm gonna have to make a bit out of this now, just to control the narrative. I don't know what. It just was like I'm gonna try. I felt comfortable. I was good friends with this person, you know, and also in that environment. That was the first time I had left New York City, which is where I grew up, and in that environment, Bucknell University.
Where's that?
It's in central Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It is
Not a lot of black people there.
The whitest place
Yeah.
I've ever been. And I was definitely like in more of a, I guess, like person of color demographic experience from in that environment, you know? So I guess I let it get to my head. That's my bad, y'all. That's my bad.
You got the power. You had some power.
I don't know what I had. I had some anonymity.
Yes.
I knew that it was like these 4 years with strangers. I thought I was cool, you know.
Yeah.
But listen,
we all do
everything I'm
stupid
saying
shit.
right now, I'm going to be painted the villain
Yeah.
for telling this, for telling the truth. Everything I'm saying, you know,
I think it's
I'm not
harmless.
in my car saying it to Kendrick Lamar songs.
Okay.
No, I tried it in front of another human being to see if I was in.
There you go.
I was out, and then I dropped it. End of discussion.
You got to try. Yeah, you got to give it the old go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I met a guy this past weekend, white guy, who was just letting it
Saying
fly. Letting it fly.
This is the
It's
thing.
like, wow.
It's look, far be it for me to. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But there were like Islander kids who I know in Seattle who said it. I was like, yo, this is like, approaching the Black Lives Matter. Things were heating up, post the Baltimore riots. It's like, yo, you can't say that. I, of course, thought I was like needed.
The
in this
authority,
moment.
yeah.
I thought my outrage was necessary for
Right.
this situation. I can see now that that also was hubris of a different kind. But I was like, yo, you can't. But look, I don't know. A lot of Hispanic people. There's a dude. There's a guy who taught me music. I studied an instrument called the Balinese. It's called the gamelan. It's a Balinese instrument. And so if you're not familiar, Balinese, Southeast Asian, that's brown Asia. That's that brown Asia.
Yes.
And
I love them.
look, brown Asian lives matter too. This dude was like, he's first of all a master musician. I'm not in any way going to do him or his body of work justice in this story, but the professor who introduced me to him used to tell a funny story, a couple funny stories about him, and one of them is that he would say that Bob Marley was his favorite musician because he's black like me. and I wanted to be like, Goosty, you're brown, dog. You know,
It's a funny reason for Bob Marley to be your favorite musician.
but I think
He's got a lot of other reasons.
there's so many other reasons, like the music, for instance.
Yeah.
But I think, and also,
The stance.
aren't there so many other musicians you could have chose from for that reason? You know?
Right.
Look, but the reason I bring all of that up is because that story too is part of my processing of like, it has something to do with oppression. Not to get too real on this, but like it's the those who are you know, I guess getting the short stick can say it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I've heard people say it I don't necessarily feel this way, but where you're raised, you know, there's a lot of places where everyone says it, I suppose. I'm trying to move there. Where are these places?
Rent prices, incredible.
Yeah.
Anyways, I feel like, you know, I can't really speak to this much more than I already have.
Yeah, we've gone a little while on that one word.
Yeah, I do. Like every white person alive, I have a lot of thoughts about it.
Sure. Yes. To be kept in.
Yeah.
Well, brother, we've come to the end of this motherfucker. We could wrap this bitch up. We have that's a good way to end it, right?
We got to talk about something else.
Let's talk about your show you're producing this weekend.
Hell yeah.
Let's wrap up with that.
Clay Ones, hit us up. If you like this, you're going to love Clay Ones Comedy.
Yeah.
Hit us up on Instagram, Clay Ones Comedy. I'm excited for it, man. I got Antonio on the very first ever Clay Ones Comedy. I tried to do this show, and I tried to book you on it like 6-7 months ago, and I could not. I canceled it. I couldn't handle it. I had too much going on. So we're back, and I'm very excited to be doing it. The concept for Clay Ones Comedy is that it can be a place where adults make friends. Not a pedo. I'm not a pedo.
Adults make friends. That's
a place
right.
where adults make
with
friends.
other adults.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Which is famously a difficult thing to do.
Yes, it is.
You know? So I want eventually for it to be a community space, right? That's the idea. So that's why I'm doing it in a DIY, like gallery environment instead of a traditional comedy club. And I'd like for it to involve music and art as well. So for this one, we're booked out on just a shit ton of comedians, 9 incredible comedians. The best in the biz.
The fucking top.
I don't know that.
Top tier.
Top tier. Just some really cool people I've met along in this journey entering into comedy, like yourself. And so it's going to be dope. Then we're going to hopefully move to monthly a couple months after the first one. So I'm just trying to get some content for this, be able to do a little bit of marketing, and then start to grow this thing.
Yeah, well, you were saying the other day that you had a lot of experience producing.
Yeah.
And you were kind of staying away from doing it for stand-up.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's something you like doing, maybe? Or
yeah. That's something I had to admit to myself.
Yeah.
I come from the music world, so I spent all of my 20s in music, and I produced shows for sure. DIY, underground, basically parties with music at them. And I also, after music, was part of founding a soccer team that was kind of a community as well. So there was a production aspect to that. It was like a nonprofit kind of soccer team that made it free for people to play soccer and created community between the gentrifying community and the gentrified community in Bed-Stuy and Crown Heights. So something I'm very passionate about. And all that involved production. Coming into comedy, I kind of started out with this attitude of like, I just want to be the specialist. I want someone else to produce the show. I want my talent to speak for itself. I don't want to, have to do that. And I just realized that's kind of silly. I actually enjoy it, and I like hosting. I like producing, and it is a good thing for everyone when a show can be produced. If it's a good show, it's a good thing for everyone. It's good for me. It's good for the people I can bring on board. So why not? Let's have a good time.
Right. And especially in this scene, specifically in New York, it's very valuable to have your own show.
Yeah.
Because a little inside baseball here for the listeners. Here it's like you kind of need to give something to the scene and, in hopes you kind of get something back. And if that's shows, if that's podcasts, if that's, whatever, skits, some opportunity, it's usually reciprocated in some way. Or you'd hope that to be the case,
Yeah, totally. And that's definitely a part of the reality that I'm making this decision in. You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna produce, if I'm down to produce, then I should do it sooner rather than later, because it will help. It will help open doors. If I have a platform that I can offer for people, and I won't for a while because I'll be scrapping it together and trying to convince people to come to this thing, but it'll happen, and at some point this will be something that has an audience and is of benefit to people to be a part of.
Right.
And that will should that occur, that would be very helpful for me.